So I love a recap apparently this week. So what I realized about being a business owner is that it is really hard for me to be in charge of myself when it comes to planning my goals for the year and whatnot. And so what has helped me a lot is breaking it down by quarters. And I did this last year, which got me to this point. Saturday, I actually went to what's called a Q2 planning workshop. So Q2 is quarter two of the year, with Cafecito con Jefas, which is a group that focuses on women entrepreneurs, specifically Latinas, who are building their business. And oh my gosh, I can't tell you how helpful it was to like have somebody to kind of lead me through the basics of like business planning, because in school as a therapist, I had zero education on like business, how to build your business as a private practice practitioner. I wanted to share a little bit about it because I'm actually very excited about it, because it involves all of you who watch my content and hopefully want to learn from my content. But I love a big notepad. But I planned out one of my goals. So we set many things that I want to do in the next 3 months, but specifically picked one goal, which is to do my first AI workshop. So this past weekend, what I also did was I was a part of a panel where I was a presenter specifically for AI and mental health therapy, which was really cool, really fun. I did it with Café Soñé and Café Todo Mujer, and it was just great to be able to talk about it, which gave me a little bit more like ganas to be able to be like, okay, now it's time for me to actually create a workshop or a conversation circle, or I'm still figuring out the name to call it, but basically just wanting a space where I can actually do the thing what I want to be doing, which is facilitating conversation around AI. And so mi Kita, who is the owner of Café con Jefas, helped me in creating a 3-month plan. So basically, what am I going to do in the next 3 months that involves this creation of this AI workshop? And wrote down a bunch of ideas. We niched it down by like, okay, what are the literal steps that I have to do in order to create this? And what also I found really helpful is that podcast that I listened to or that I posted about this past weekend that was talking about like advancements in AI. What Alyssa from the person that they interviewed was talking about was, even if therapists commit to not using AI, they should still be informed about what AI is. So the points that she said that really like kind of stuck with me was wanting to make sure therapists at least know how these systems work. So talked about wanting them to know what a large language model does, how things like prompt engineering lead to eventually what a patient would see or interact with, what are the capabilities and limitations of these chatbots or AI. And what I added is like, well, what are people even thinking about when they think of AI? Like, are they even thinking about chatbots? And so that kind of helped me craft a little bit of the outline for what I want to be doing. So started planning. I don't know what I want to call it. Again, I'm just facilitating conversation. I want to do a little bit of just like education around what AI or AI chatbots specifically are doing and what they are, but ultimately just want to start facilitating conversation to get people's like toes wet. So I definitely want to target mental health providers, social workers, LMFTs, LPCs, people even who aren't licensed yet, would love them. Focus AI. What the focus I want to be is AI and how we use it in our practice or don't. What are some concerns? If you've been already using it, a research share, and then future hopes. That might be saved for another group because I don't want to scare people off with my brain of going too far too fast. But yeah, and then the intro, basically do a very basic intro, maybe even do a demo of what ChatGPT is, since most people haven't interacted yet with AI outside of like Netflix or outside of like using Google, and now Gemini is prompting a more AI generated response. And so really kind of like demystifying it by literally showing y'all what it is. Again, questions would come to people's heads when they think of AI and the clients. And then also if anyone's actually currently using it and how to like show to others, like it can be not as scary and like you can kind of slowly step into it and you don't have to just full go into like it creating your progress notes for you. Because the goal essentially is to really protect clients and protect clinicians. And that's what I wrote down here is like, we need as therapists to be educated on how and what AI is, so we can learn to see what's coming and demand and advocate for more protections. Because I think ultimately, not even just for the clients, but I really obviously think of clinicians a lot, where we're taken advantage of by corporations in so many ways. And this is going to be another way that they are going to add to burnout. And so really wanting people now to be aware of like how this is coming down the pipeline or already kind of present, to make sure you're setting not just limitations around your client load, but also to making sure these businesses are taking into consideration the emotional load of taking more clients, even if you have more time to take a client because of you don't have to do your notes, for example, anymore. And because I'm also like coming from the DEI background, really invested in like the DEI work these companies are doing or not doing, because ultimately like I would like to help them. I want to be the person asking like, what type of data sets are you using to train these models? Like, how do we make sure these chatbots even identify where the limitations of them are and then supplement it in a different way? And so if therapists are able to get more involved early on, they're really able to set the precedence that we are not just asking these companies to consider us, but actually requiring them to consider us for good care. Because I think right now we are at a bit of in a good way, at a level playing field, because everything's just getting developed. But if we're not having diverse voices at the jump, I feel like the same thing is going to continue to happen, where they just kind of save integrating diverse models or diverse populations too late. They think of it as a second or an afterthought, and I want to ask them how that is getting trained now, which is why, I've been posting about those companies who do progress notes, and why I really haven't even used them with my clients myself is because I want to ensure if I'm choosing and backing one of these AI assistant platforms, that they are actually focusing and doing the work around training their models on diverse voices to actually make it an inclusive and equitable experience. Because if I don't know that answer, or if they don't have that answer for me, then I don't really want to be supporting them and giving them my time, money, or expertise. I'm happy to consult with them. That's what I'm trying to do if they are open to that. But ultimately, I don't want to subject any of my clients to that if I don't feel like the model is reflective of what my client population is. All to be said. Q2 goal. I'm going to be doing a workshop. I hope people attend. I hope people are feeling more comfortable hearing me talk about these things. I hope I'm making it less scary and not more scary. But even if you're scared and you think I'm doing something wild, tell me about it. I want to know. I like discord. It's okay that it's uncomfortable. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. I'm excited to start planning it and really nervous, but mostly excited. But yeah, let me know what you think, and we'll talk soon. Bye.